to Boston, was happy to put it on. Kyle's stories hit long after they're gone. G-Child made the comments roar. Corey Feldman thanks, still hoping for more. They're all train wrecks, burning bright, and yet I cannot look away at night. Backed by demand, fake or not, still laugh so hard I nearly rot. Mystery's a clown, a true narcissist. Why the carrot go to therapy? I missed it. How to be a psychopath? I'm down. Steve-O wouldn't even rub pepper now. Corey Feldman got Jim and them banned, but y'all make bad days feel less unplanned. Val wasn't in the best bat flick, but he was the best bat, smooth and slick. I came for the rewatch to see that art. Kirk Franklin sings gospel with heart. 5 years for being a side beach, laughing so hard I'm out of reach. Would love Kyle clowning more if YT let it ride. Tempe, Arizona here, Sofa Squad pride. Missed alive, now I'm not stoked. Chris is a perfectionist, hell evoked. A gremlin bit me, that's why I'm like this. So delightfully unhinged, it's bliss.
Welcome our newest
More
recruits.
content brings us back to the screen. Clap, clap, plenty usable, plenty clean. Kyle, you been on Guardians at Disney. Your ADHD life is way too crispy. Daddy issues hit in Guardians 2. Chris bad at acting behind the cam suits you. I watch and now I understand why you two are Sofa Squad's banned. Female viewers on the rise, salute. All for the algorithm, execute. Avoid the poop claw at all cost. You guys are funny, I almost got lost. In the 80s, we had 5 kinds of weed. Revolutionary content we feed. La meow, la purr, la roar roar. Some dreams die, it depends on the war. Some divas are on screen, one's on the couch. Y'all are goofballs, no need to vouch. Might be puberty again, or maybe it's changed. Still laughing even if the style's strange. Corey Haim played 1942. Watching with you makes poopy stuff cool too. Riff, riff, raff is whoa, still amazed. I love Kyle, let that praise blaze. You remind me of middle school friends. I like Kyle plenty, my opinion bends. Thanks for the eons of cringe and flair. Socially awkward, you don't care. All the Italian I know's from chic music lore. I'm Team Chris now, can't ignore. Kyle is so Raven from Sooner State Pride. Oklahoma City repping this wild ride.
You're my favorite customer.
How dare you talk to me like that? You are tearing me apart!
Kyle.
I'm a vampire!
Goodbye, coffee table. You're leaving us today, and we will miss you. Putting stuff on you, but now you're going away.
back to the sofa.
Family Guy dark humor. Let's see if we can be offended.
Watching YouTube.
Backwards and then.
Let's keep the vibes light. 4,500 subscribers, we're on a roll. Living life like Corey Feldman, Brett Michael's soul. Reality TV, oh what a thrill. Cringe-worthy
Right, but
moment.
we have insightful
Can't
critique.
get my fill.
Okay, I guess he's dead.
Bad movies,
right now.
they make us laugh for days. Getting lost in their powers like a power ballad haze. Sofa Squad rocking, we're the stars of our show. YouTube famous where we wanna go. Corey Feldman style.
I'm my own grandpa. What does that mean?
Brett Michael's swagger, we're keeping it bold.
Space vampire.
So is this what we're doing to each other now?
And they'll bite your fingers off, they'll rip your face off and eat it. It's horrific.
I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
This is Chris's idea.
Brought to you by Miller.
Brought to you by Miller. Comment down below about something. I don't know.
It's a freak show, my kind of place.
It's because of you encouraging him to punish me.
Why did you choose to do this?
I can't believe you've done this. Edit it so that the positive stuff is at the end. Thanks. Thanks. Love it.
If these guys are so soft, they're barely awake. At this rate, 10,000's a piece of cake. Nice shout out, we're catching the vibe. Did I see Star Wars Christmas? Just a quick pride. John Scared Goat Brown, a legend no doubt. I subscribed from day one, let's give it a shout. Ghetto Pass, they act like we're not poor and proud. Bite your shirt. Torch the Weasel Command. Suzuki Jeeps from the 80s? Those were the brands. The P.O. box is open, don't waste your days. Send us something stupid, it'll amaze. Chris Moose Knuckles, the term you need. Hombre's hair pull, a glorious deed. Drew in the land of furries, a true delight. At the 6-minute mark, it's a magical sight. I've never done shrooms, but it's on my list. Watching this movie be the perfect twist. Thanks, Lep in the Hood, you're such a bro. Corey's the star, he steals every show. Commercials peaked with Puppy Monkey Baby. Your vibe's so weird, it's haunting me lately. Chris is savage, the crowd's going wild. It's disturbing yet charming, your comedy style. Meat Canyon's here, Papa Meat fans unite. I host PTTS parties every week, it's a highlight. The Two Stones, a relic, a Sofarmer's prize. Babes in Toyland, a miracle in disguise. Corey Feldman spoke truth on Sally Jesse. Kyle's perfect pronunciation, it's so impressive. I drank bleach as a kid, almost lost the fight. Didn't like the special? Well, you're Reese, that's right. Like and subscribe or you're just a whore. David Copperfield and Cupertino, that man was pure. Ricky Schroeder kept his name, they called him straight. Two bros roasting life, their bond's first rate. Chewbacca's here, bringing the noise. This channel is pure gold for us 80s boys. How do you still not see John Brown's a troll? Every spit take its comedy gold. I'm Doug and I'm outer here. Your P.O. box surprises, I hold them dear. I love this channel, it's truly the best. More wigs and hats, I'm fully impressed. Kyle's shoe collection deserves its own show. For every bad movie, you make laughter grow. Merry Sofamas, you Sofa Kings. With every upload, more joy it brings. Hallelujah, Sofa back, we're bringing it home. Comfort Channel champions, leave no one alone. Drew Barrymore, so Ryan could Reynolds. Chewbacca's here, when nostalgia's medals. Another episode, make it happen, please. Subscribing so hard, bring me to my knees. This, my friends, is a W, indeed.
You know, only 1% of the people that watch Back to the Sofa are actually subscribed. Click subscribe, probably, if you want to.
I think they made their choice already, so.
He's like, is this what we have to look forward to? We're fucked.
Obviously on the surreal life.
I'm excited that you're all gonna share the wedding with me tomorrow, and that everybody's happy. No, I'm sorry.
I'm a little hero whore that knows about mud bowls.
I would poop in the bushes.
This is what people tune into Back to the Sofa for.
A lot of deep poop discussion.
My wife actually drank some like bleach when she was little and had to be rushed to the hospital. She almost died.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, I lined up all my.
They only masturbate so much.
Like and subscribe.
Hey, talk more about that.
We gotta get behind the black people.
He's not white enough either.
Your hood, repping your life.
You're the whore, bitch. You're the bitch, whore. I'm a vampire.
You gotta tear me apart.
Where's your foot?
My God. You said you were fun.
What a story.
Kyle.
I am fun. Pancake House.
Welcome to Back to the Sofa, where the two hosts plan lots and lots of stuff and have a lot of stuff ready for everyone that is watching the show.
Hang on, we moved the camera, then the laptop.
This is a show, right?
What? Yes. Yep. Totally.
Yeah, cool.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
You know what Father's Day means to me, Kyle?
No.
Not much.
Yeah, man. I sent my dad an email.
I
got a card from my son, which I watched him leave the night before.
Yeah.
So that's how much planning he did. His mom went in and said, "Hey, did you
So
get your dad
what?
a card?" And he's like, "No."
Yes, I'm a dad. It's fine. I got to sleep in, and that was cool. Stop spreading rumors erroneous. We are not watching 3 Men and a Baby.
No.
No.
That's actually a good movie. We don't watch good movies.
No. But yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Say hey to your dad, good or bad. They exist, I guess. So that's that.
Yep, they exist.
I say we start off with the weirdos that were in chat waiting for us for 10 minutes or so as I use the bathroom. How about some memberships?
Yeah!
Do we have any? Hold on.
We should have at least this month. I don't even know if we did it last month.
I didn't plan any.
Holly didn't say anything.
Whoa.
She's driving right now.
Can't defend yourself. Am I logged in at the right? Oh, maybe it's not.
So your support.
I thought I could.
Engage with your audience. Isn't it somewhere else?
No, it's right here. That's so weird. Well, I'm glad that
Well, you people didn't give us enough support, and now we can't do the thing. Blame it on them, right?
Yep. Okay, sorry about that. This is going great. Happy Father's Day. It's Father's Day. I don't know. Okay, so
we're not necessarily even caring about that, because by the time people watch this on YouTube that aren't on the live, it won't be Father's Day anymore.
That's true.
And it's actually Father's Day.
Sofa dad.
Father's Day.
Data couch. All right, we should have planned this out. We don't plan stuff out. We kind of just show up and
Father's Day.
Type stuff in. Father's Day is fine.
Right.
However, Friday was my birthday. Thank you everybody who gave me birthday wishes. Who I don't know how you remembered it or thought about it, but thank you. 43 years old. I'm slowly dying like the rest of you.
So old.
So old.
I'm glad I'm still only 32.
That's right. That's what he's going to say. Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute. I moved that back to the front page so that it's easier for me to do this.
That was worth the build-up.
So, thank you. Thank you for the belated birthday stuff. So, what I wanted to do was on Twitch watch 2 movies, 2 documentaries.
Rockumentary, one of them.
That are depressing. The first one is called American Movie.
This was
Kyle loves it.
Proto Back to the Sofa, when Chris and I would hang out in the radio station and watch movies on the laptop. And we watched American Movie, and I could not believe how delicious it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a depressing ass movie, but I'll tell you why I love it. And it's when we watch it, and it's not just to watch a slow train wreck of anyway, it's about filmmaking, and it's a very delusional dude, and he makes a movie, 2 movies, I guess. Coven.
That sounds like oven.
With almost no budget, over 10 years, and it's crazy. The level of insight on the documentary is very depressing. And then we are going to watch Anvil, the story of Anvil. Yeah. No beach today, Holly. Nope. It's Chris's turn. Birthday weirdness to... I was originally going to make you watch The Room again.
The Room again?
Again. Because it was my birthday.
Because it's your birthday?
But
well, mine is at the end of the month.
Oh, shit.
And what are we going to watch for that? Probably Back to the Beach.
Okay. I didn't think of that far. I didn't realize that we had to give power.
I
just want to take power.
Well, it is your channel.
All mine.
Right. So I'll have to find my Pee Wee Herman Bird is the Word 7-inch single that my daughter got for me. She also cross-stitched a Pee Wee portrait for me for one birthday, and I have a Pee Wee Herman doll. I have Pee Wee's Big Adventure on VHS, and the Pee Wee Herman show, which is the adult show, on DVD. That's digital video disc. Kyle's got stuff. All the things that Kyle has are great.
The reality of what your birthday episode is going to be like just hit me, so...
Let's talk about me more.
All right, so that's what we're doing on Twitch today after this stream. I think this stream will probably just be like an hour. We want to hang out and just, hang out with you guys, but we will go to Twitch, and then that's where we're going to do the majority of our, meat and potatoes.
Right. No mail.
Whoa.
So,
after we made this song.
Send us old toys with hats and old birthday cards. We'll worship your junk like it's rock star art. BTTS 113 Riverwalk Boulevard S Suite 101 PB 101 Madera, California 93636. Send love and regret. Kyle loses money on this.
Yes, I do lose money on it. Were I to list all of the items that all of the fans have sent in on eBay, I would still be way in the red, but that is not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is community.
Tanya sent the family picture of
yeah, Tanya, that
right
was
here.
great. It was here in the last episode.
Love it.
And now it's in its semi-permanent place of honor over there, over Chris's shoulder. That is his conscience. It's for Gary Busey's telling him what to do at all times.
That's all I hear.
So Angelique sent a package and a word to the wise. Make sure that you write BTTS as the addressee or Kyle, because if you put any other name on there, it will get rejected by the mailbox place.
Multi-Busey. That's right, Joy. One quick thing I wanted to say, and I don't know, I guess if I say I mean it, then it sounds like I don't mean it. But
well, I'll mean it, whatever you say.
Okay. With careful thought, I did want to say thank you to everyone who supports us via watching us, liking hit the like button. That really matters, apparently.
Yeah, a lot.
And when I watched YouTube for years, I never hit the like button.
Well, it's because you're a fucking asshole. Like and subscribe.
Black shirt,
Oh, God, I got that one in quick.
Gone off the rails again.
Oh, that reminds me.
This ain't the show that Chris had planned. But let's be real, it's always been bad.
While that was happening, his punishment, he got up to get something.
Well, my dog Henry was reading a lot of the comments, and he saw something in the room, and he decided that he was going to react to the feedback of the people on the channel, and he didn't really like this flute very much.
Oh my God!
So he fucking ate it.
Oh!
Right, so...
Flute down!
The flute is kaput.
Oh!
Permanently. Yeah, it's in many, many pieces.
Can you try playing it one more time just as a joke?
I am going to do that. That's the whole reason I got it. And I have not tested this. Let's see.
We have 60 people watching you try to play. It sounds like murder.
So, if you do leave a comment, Henry does read those.
Like
Henry's the dog from the Sofa and Chill video.
Yeah. Alternative blunt smoking.
So he does react to your comments, and he does make sure that that the community is heard.
Yeah, wow.
So the recorder has recorded its last recording.
All right, we should wait for Harley Dukehouse shoes.
Oh yeah, Erroneous was here first, so he gets.
Got the shoes and he's gonna show them all off.
Hey, Stoney. Stoney.
That's Kyle.
Everyone can tell that you're high.
Cameras. We have cameras all in your place, so don't think about it. Enough with the Kyle's shoes.
So, is it just a shoe collection, or is it a shoe and shirt collection?
I don't know. I don't care.
It's a shoe and shirt collection. And here's a new one that has not been on the channel before.
Whoa. Whoa!
It's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So, these are actually years old, and I have them in like new condition. It's just Spider-Man all the way around. But usually you see these for $60, $70, $80. People are trying to squeeze me for every dollar I have, for every dollar I have, for every dollar I have, for every dollar I have. Bang bang boogie with the beat beat box, and everybody likes my shoes and my socks, and everybody knows that I'm over here getting down. I am not a shoe sock wearing clown. Everybody knows that the shoes are the shit, and everybody knows that my shoes are legit. I am not trying to make no plans. I'm just trying to buy some fucking Spider-Man Vans.
That's all getting cut. I was looking for something.
That's going in. That's a short.
That's a yeah. That's
What's our channel?
Anyway, keep going.
Jacob, I have the style of whoever the fuck I want to be.
All right, can we not curse at the audience right away?
He just called me a 12-year-old.
That's fine. You don't.
It's okay for them to do that? I didn't know that.
You don't have to fight everyone all the time. You know that, right?
Jacob, we're good, dude. Venom Vans? I haven't seen them. I would like to get those.
No, please. Okay. What was I? Circus of the Stars. Oh my God.
So this Vanilla Ice thing that's underneath there, that's the one we watch where Vanilla Ice crashes through the... we have a Vanilla Ice volume.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like a Corey volume. He crashes through burning wood on a motorcycle.
Really impressive.
And you think, I mean, Jesus, they get a stuntman? Did they cut away? No, he's just from Florida.
Special. So that's what we were thinking about watching. But, thank you, Josh Perry. We are awesome.
Yeah, Jacob,
Too high for chat.
Too high for chat. No. That's when it's the best.
We see you.
I can tell.
We can tell.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Everyone. Nothing's playing. I don't know.
My hair's growing. Yeah. This is how I look. My hair is growing back out, so we might be able to get back into Fabio Kyle and get some more of those.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What do you just do that on the whim, or?
I don't enjoy getting my hair cut that much. I'm indecisive, and also I used to get haircuts as a punishment because I was wanting my hair long, and my dad was a barber, so I would get haircuts as a punishment.
I really don't know why we can't give.
So I don't just get my hair cut. I don't think about it.
Well, let's start off on the YouTubes.
Want to see my tattoo?
I don't know.
I'm actually getting this part filled in next Wednesday, so next Sunday you'll be able to see some of that. But here's Voltron. I don't know if you can see it. Voltron, right?
Yep. Well, yeah.
And then here's the Castle of Lions. This is hard doing it like in a mirror. This is the Castle of Lions where the Voltron guys are from, and then this is all the individual lions in a lightning storm.
Oh right, that was good. So
not bad, right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, our collection on YouTube, Patreon. Some of them are uncensored, uncut things, but most of them are just no commercials and slightly longer versions here or there on Patreon. Just because
Especially movies are longer on Patreon.
way longer.
Right.
Like Troll 2 on here is like 12 minutes because that's all they got through.
Right.
And on Patreon it's like 51 minutes.
Also, the Chuck the Halls one. What movie was that? Invasion USA.
Invasion USA is one of the best things I've ever seen, and it's not. I mean, it's good, bad, but also
Right.
just awesome to watch.
And then there's also anything that's originally like MTV or something like that just can't get on YouTube. It's over there, and it doesn't have to be, but it is free.
Yeah, and yes, we still have the mailbox that Kyle spends $1 a day on.
$1 a day. It's $111 for 90 days. It's more than $1 a day.
They just say that.
But it's a chance for the community to participate. People that send in the stuff, we put it back here, right? And then when you watch the videos, not only do you see us interact with your anthrax laced envelope, but we also put it as part of the set and
whoa,
hey Erroneous,
let's listen.
Erroneous donated $1.99. Happy Dad's Day. Can't believe it ain't butter spread.
What? Thank you for the.
I don't want to talk about taint butter spread. I want to talk about hot butter sausage.
I just got the notification.
Right, so that's what the mailbox is for. If you want to participate, send us in a recycled birthday card. Send us Bret Michaels Funko Pop, or somebody sent me a bunch of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, keep sending that. Any of that.
Batman Arkham Asylum hardbound. Someone sent us poison and anthrax because Chris was worried about getting poison and anthrax in the mail. This little toy thing, I don't know what that is. A Dreamcast memory card.
VMU.
It's a memory card.
VMU. Virtual memory unit.
And it has a little game on it and everything. That employee of the month button right there, that was sent separate, but I made this thing the employee of the month because Chris didn't want the accolades. Hand knitted koozies with BTTS emblazoned on them.
Whoa.
This t-shirt with me from college, from Chris's college project. Bret Michaels is on the other side, but that's not as cool. Yeah, so anything you think, the tit named James.
Tit named James.
It's a sculpture.
It's a work of art.
Yeah, I need to get it out.
Careful.
It's tit under glass.
Careful. Somebody made this or whatever and sent it to us.
Somebody sculpted this.
Somebody sculpted a boob named James.
Right, and it has a nipple. Can you see it? So it's, what was her name? Ashley?
Oh, who sent it?
No. The person whose boob
Ashley.
this is. Yeah, Ashley. And there it is, the James tattoo and the hula bikini.
That's the kind of stuff you can send us.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you think of, it's going to be fun.
Really, it's just to see our reaction and, old stuff that, I don't know. Kyle started this. Why am I explaining?
Because you're part of it.
I was against it.
He was against it.
I was.
And he didn't open like the first 10 things that people sent in because he was worried it was going to be human biological matter. Queef Latif, what up?
Hey, Queef Latif, I love saying your name. Okay, so did you want to go over that list thing first?
Does anyone know where Kelly VV is?
We don't talk about that.
She was the first admin.
She was the first mod.
Mod.
And then she disappeared.
Yeah, Kelly VV. I actually watched an old video and started making a list of like people we haven't seen in a long time. 420 was here not too recently, right?
Was he?
I think so.
Whoa, Chris Kills.
Chris Kills, wow! Oh.
Chris Kills donated $5. Ha ha ha. Erroneous, you cheapskate. 1.99. JK, I love you all so much.
Welcome to the stream where we shame each other into giving more money to guys that, I mean...
Don't deserve it.
We're fine.
Yeah, it's pizza money. Thank you so much.
Today it was Chinese food money.
Today was Chinese food.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's really good.
It's good food, actually.
There's a place down the street, just this unimposing place, and everyone there speaks Chinese.
It's not Chinese, dude.
But the food's not, but the people are.
No, but they don't. There is no Chinese.
Right, Mandarin or Cantonese.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm hip enough to know that.
That's like people saying, Chris, do you speak Mexican?
While that is a dialect, and also they don't know.
All right. Do you want to we can get into Circus for the Stars, or we could do that list thing you were talking about?
Let's try the list.
How do I get there, Kyle?
I was inspired by Holly. You go to the BTTS main document.
Oh, good. You put it there.
And it should be at the bottom.
Started from the bottom.
So this is a list of movies that bombed every year since the 70s.
So bad they...
And the reason I wanted to introduce this is because I have a feeling that I personally will have a movie on here that I'm like, I love this, I've seen it 50 times. And I'm hoping that the chat will have the same reaction. I was reading the comments of this and somebody was like, yeah, there's this pirate movie and they didn't promote it, and I saw it and I thought it was great. So I thought it was something that could kind of start a dialogue.
Wait, so you just want people to like acknowledge and say you were right about something?
Please say that I'm right about more things. It doesn't happen that much in my regular life.
All right, so let's give this a try. This is from a, what is this from? QTR. So shout out to QTR, whoever made this. It's a very long video. We're going to skip around, and we're not going to listen to the commentary too much. In fact, I might even mute it here and there.
And every had no oriented, and so far...
This is going great. So the first movie is Sextet. Speak on that, Kyle.
Right, so
are gone.
In jazz, you often have a sextet, but it's S-E-X-T-E-T, and that is Latin for a group of six. But this is
and not even by her.
an unhandsome woman.
No, come on.
But with Ringo Starr.
Even while
and that Timothy Dalton.
The whole thing was based on her stage play, but no studio wanted to touch it.
The budget was $4 million. Dom DeLuise.
All right, so that's
Jesus.
The Concorde.
This time, the disaster film genre.
Airport 79. So it's a disaster film. It lost $1 million. There were a lot of these in the 70s, and it was all just models and stuff.
So there's a new kind of version of me, the cool kind of chill Chris.
Nobody's here for that.
That doesn't want to point out that Kyle did not look through this list. He did not preview the video. He did not write down notes or be prepared. So he's watching this brand new as I am and you are. So this could be terrible.
So there's a cool laid back version of Kyle that wants to just roll with, you know, whatever Chris's bullshit observation was just now. But the regular Kyle is like, it's a reaction channel. They're watching me.
Why is that so big?
Why am I Mexican now? No, but it's a reaction channel, so it was for us to react to. And if you watch it beforehand, then you're not reacting to it, you're just narrating it. So it's a stylistic choice.
Oh my god.
Trick. Turn the Concorde into a fighter jet.
All right, I don't care about this.
Followed was one of the most chaotic.
Heaven's Gate. I did hear about this film, and I watched a couple videos about it. Man, they spent so much money on it. They made alternate cuts. They're actually doing another version of it, another cut that they're releasing like this year or some recently, because they can't let it go. And it was one of the biggest bombs ever. It was like a 4-hour movie when it came out.
Oh my god!
And nobody wanted to give up.
They shot all that stuff and nobody liked any part of it.
Was this Ridley Scott? I can't remember. Some director.
He shot over 1.3 million feet of film.
1.3 million feet of film.
20 hours of raw.
You got that footy.
The original cut of the movie was 5 hours and 25 minutes.
Jesus.
No.
United Artists took it away and recut it without Cimino's.
And it was terrible once they recut it, like
down
to an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, what do you think is going to be when you cut a quarter? Or you only have a quarter of the original film left. But yeah, it was a huge bomb.
Back in the 80s, this was the most expensive
Honky Tonk Freeway.
with no real.
I guess what they were trying to do is cash in on the like Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy and stuff like that. Probably there were a lot of trucker movies.
To match his vision of a desperate
They painted a whole town pink.
For one gag, they blew up a real 4-lane bridge. There's
They
a
what?
scene with a water ski.
No, that looks like abuse.
That's a real water skiing elephant.
They called it the most expensive inside joke in history, and they weren't wrong. Final box office total was just $2 million. $2 million gone, and all we got was an elephant on water skis.
Was that J.K. Simmons?
Yeah, I hope not.
Almost every dollar of Inchon's $46 million
Inchon.
budget came from the Unification Church, run by Reverend Sun Myung Moon.
Oh, is this a South Korean
cast
movie?
Laurence Olivier, who was very sick at the time, and paid him a cool $1 million to star.
Yeah, I'll be in
They
your
filmed
bullshit.
Olivier
Whatever.
through layers of gauze and soft
Maybe
filters
people weren't
just
ready
to
for
hide how bad he
war
looked.
stuff.
God,
I mean,
he
it's
was-
10 years after
Script and
Vietnam. It should have been
immediately
all
backed
right.
away.
This is like Rambo era, right?
Quote, an appalling experience.
I guess it was
And
just
said he only
bullshit.
did it for the paycheck.
Dude, he was
The
so
movie
sick.
took 4 years to make and was
All right, I
5 million.
Kroll!
Kroll! Come on.
So
this is a cult classic.
I haven't watched the film, but I watched multiple YouTube videos about it. That's how I get a lot of media nowadays. And it seems to be pretty beloved, and I wouldn't mind watching it. It doesn't seem like a terrible film, but it has.
It might be perfect for us because
Look at that.
I definitely rented Kroll and like
halfway through the shoot.
want Kroll bumper stickers if I ever get like a boogie van or something.
Dude, they redesigned the villain halfway through the movie. I would be so depressed. I'd be so depressed working on this.
The guy that stars in it has a part.
What's left is
you know,
a weird
like
mashup of fantasy and sci-fi that tried
10
to
years
be
later
epic and
in
ended
Deep
up being
Space
nothing.
Nine, he was the guy who ran the Maquis.
I don't know what that is.
He's like a bald guy, and he had a yellow uniform. And Cisco was extra mad at him because he went over to the Maquis side instead of upholding Starfleet. I just got done watching Deep Space Nine again. So
Did you?
like, yeah.
Yes, it does.
This was
Yes,
meant to be
duh.
Coppola's big comeback. What it turned into
Cotton
was an
Club?
FBI-level disaster.
Oh, I've
Easy.
seen
Original
this.
cut
You have?
2.5
Oh, yeah.
hours and gave equal weight to the black and white.
5 hours.
But producer Robert Evans demanded it be recut to push the black cast into the background.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
One of the private investors
Oh,
was
good.
murdered.
What?
One of the private investors got murdered.
FBI investigation
It's
involving
the early
Ponzi
'80s, and
schemes
everyone's
an
still
alleged murder
racist.
for hire plot. It cost $58 million and made less than half.
You knew what you were making, right? No, they didn't. They didn't understand what they were making.
Took 30.
I mean, they didn't understand that it was a good story, but there's no audience for it.
This Revolutionary War epic was doomed the moment someone
What?
cast
Isn't
Al
that the
Pacino in
famous?
period costume.
Yeah, it's Al
and then let him
Pacino.
stomp
They only made
through history.
$350,000.
Oh my
He
God!
refused to
I've never even heard of this.
wear, so the crew just shot him from the knees up. Director Hugh Hudson only had 3 months to rewrite and shoot the whole thing.
Never heard of this.
The reviews were brutal. One critic called it the worst performance of Pacino's career. The film made $358,000 at the U.S. box office.
Whoa!
Hey, Rachel!
Rachel Stepien donated $1.99. Hey guys, happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pacino vanished from acting for 4 years.
All right, that was a terrible.
Okay.
What? Okay, look. I happen to like this movie.
I like it too.
I'm sorry that apparently this dude is a pedo.
Oh, I don't like that about it.
I didn't hear about that until our last stream where somebody mentioned it.
In 1986, when I was 13, I wasn't like, I hope this duck is diddling people. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, so look, but the film itself, as a little kid, I didn't mind. I actually enjoyed it. Oh my god! And the villain too. He was the guy with the mustache. He was on Ferris Bueller's Day Off as the principal.
Oh right.
He also
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, see what Ferris did to him? I feel so bad for school administrators. So. This is a Marvel movie.
It is.
$2 million on the
and
told the studio.
This is a George Lucas movie.
Yes.
Okay, so after Empire Strikes Back, this is the movie he made.
And it took a lot for him to get this done.
Yeah, and that was look at that ass.
That was really confusing as a little kid. In a good way.
Right. So this is a adventurous romp through cinema where that girl does sex at a duck.
She did.
And it was on HBO one summer, so I've seen it 10, maybe 15 times.
Ugh.
And I look back on it fondly, even though I'm sure that I've seen it in the last 10 years, and it was terrible.
Dude, do you think, like as a little kid, like I was a little kid, and like I wasn't, you're a little kid, you're not really thinking sexually, but in a way, thinking, I'm a little person, he's little, if he could get her, I could get her?
Nope.
I think that went through my mind. I keep it real on this channel.
Debt from the movie and building constantly. Elaine
Ishtar
was filming hundreds of.
So Ishtar was like a grown-up movie, and I was 14, but Ishtar didn't appeal to me in any way like it would to somebody who grew up with, I want to say Paul Simon. Who is that?
It's Paul Simon. Yeah.
Paul Simon wrote the song for his movie.
Genius idea to airlift a live camel by helicopter, just for one joke.
But yeah, this was everyone knew that this was a bomb when it came out.
Two washed-up Americans,
and it cost a lot.
Yeah.
CIA mess in
So this was like the first bomb that I really knew about.
And two stars who couldn't stop getting in each other's way. No wonder it only made $14 million on a budget of $55 million.
The Duck movie made twice that.
I know.
Terry Gilliam went full chaos on this one.
Okay, so my cousin loved this movie and would talk about it all the time. I saw it once. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep at the end.
What is this?
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And I think this is a Terry Gilliam movie, who is the guy that did Time Bandits and Brazil.
Oh my God.
His name be taken off the credits.
So he wanted his name taken off the credits.
Right.
The producer even faked the budget numbers to keep pictures from pulling the plug.
This looks amazing, though.
It actually got 4 Oscar nominations.
Visually.
For art direction.
What is happening?
But the production burned so much money, there was no way to recover. It made $8 million domestic.
Oh my God.
And ended up with a $38.5 million loss.
Visually, it looks incredible, but
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad one for us to check out. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that that are, reacting to it.
I wouldn't be opposed to checking it out. And for most of you that are imbibing on stuff right now,
it would be a great one for
I think
that.
it'd be pretty cool.
This was the year Clint Eastwood said yes to a movie just so the studio would leave his passion project alone. They threatened to pull funding for Bird. He didn't want to do it. You can tell. Pink Cadillac, in which Eastwood plays a California bounty hunter, was a low point. They kept rewriting scenes on the day.
So Bird was the movie about Charlie Parker, the most influential jazz saxophonist of all time.
He wanted to do that, huh?
That was his movie that he was directing. It was like his directorial debut or something like that. It's about Charlie Yarborough Parker. And the whole movie is shot too dark.
Huh?
There's just the lighting is kept dark because Eastwood is trying to cultivate a vibe. And I've seen it. It's the Star Wars guy, Forrest Whitaker.
That's not the Star Wars guy.
Yes, it is.
And they cut most of his lines.
So yeah, it's considered a good kind of a biopic of Bird. You kind of get the idea that he was a train wreck and a drug addict, but also the most influential saxophone player of all time. So Clint Eastwood really wanted to make this movie, so he took this movie as a to satisfy the studio and as a cash grab.
Isn't that so strange to think about? How like in reality, even big stars and stuff, doesn't matter who you are, you're always in negotiations for something, and there's always a studio head or executive that wants power over you.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, Clint Eastwood, that's made us lots of money and it's going to make us a lot more money moving on. Let's mess with him and not allow him to do this picture that we may lose money on. Let's make him do this horrible piece of crap. And then he has to do it for like 6 months. Like, that's real pain in his eyes. That's not...
Right.
He's not...
But also, how many actors are out there that work their whole lives and study their craft and hone it and get to where they think they're at the top of their game, and they can't get a lead role in a movie, and Clint Eastwood is like, oh, you want me to be a star in a movie? I guess I'll just shit this out.
Such is life.
Later on, Eastwood said it wasn't even worth talking about.
It's not even worth talking about.
The movie's a mess. It made $12 million. All
right, we get it.
Smug completely steamrolled here.
I've heard of this. I know it was a book, correct, or something?
Bonfire of the Vanities. Yeah, I think maybe my mom and my aunt rented this on like a weekend where we rented a bunch of movies and we're all just watching movies. But I don't think I watched it. I think I was doing something else.
So,
not in 1990.
Here's one thing that when I look at stuff like this, I really think about what they were attempting to do. And Kyle's right when he said in the past, like, Chris has a soft spot for attempts and trying, and Kyle's like,
yeah, he loves effort.
I do love effort. I guess I do. He pointed that out, and I think that's true. Kyle demands perfection all the time.
I want to acknowledge execution. Even when it's low effort or low budget, if you have high execution, it's good.
That's why I say
Are you insinuating that that's not a high level of execution?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, come on. Where's my puppet? I want my puppet.
Forced to cast Tom Hanks
We
in
had
a
a
role
puppet?
that was supposed to be a smug, arrogant Wall Street guy. But since it was Hanks, they rewrote the character to be likable. Morgan Freeman replaced a Jewish judge from the book because the studio thought they needed to balance the cast. Bruce Willis was so unbearable on set, the crew called him the Virus. Nowhere near the production.
Not a good
They rented
nickname.
space across the street and filmed the meltdown in secret. The movie flopped hard, just $15 million against a $47
It does sound like an
budget.
AI voice. Does this
But
not
the
sound
book
like
about
AI?
how badly it failed, The Devil's Candy, ended up being a hit.
I think it's AI.
The behind-the-scenes drama did better than the.
All right, let's move on.
Co-wrote the script.
Hudson Hawk.
Hudson
Okay,
Hawk.
I've seen this. It was a big flop. I thought it was fine.
And insisted
I
on
hadn't
having
seen it.
everything
I
to
heard
do
of
with
it.
Music,
Just
even the action.
wasn't
He couldn't decide
something
if it
I was
a
interested
comedy,
in.
an action flick, or a musical. So they just.
He had to die from that,
He
right?
did all three.
Studio execs gave him a blank check and didn't ask questions.
Look, he has hair.
By day
Wow.
2, the crew was calling it Bruce's vanity bomb. It made $7 million opening.
Look how cool he is.
Shredded by critics and never recovered. It lost nearly $90 million.
Bruno.
Jesus.
So this is around the time that Bruce Willis made his other character, Bruno, the blues harmonicist and singer.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And there was music videos of Bruno, and Kevin Smith tells this story to where even years later, way after they did their movie together, that like this strange number shows up on his phone, and he answers it, and he goes, Kevin. And he goes, yeah, this is Kevin. Who's this? And he goes, it's Bruno. And he goes, I don't know who Bruno is. It's Bruce Willis.
Damn it, where did I move that?
Like, he was really trying to make that Bruno thing work, and it did not.
I'm so disappointed. Where did I put that? Did I?
You're ruining the show looking for buttons.
But it's worth it.
Is it?
I guess not.
I didn't have to guess.
It's also laggy. Hey, this is the cool new Chris that, you know, if Kyle doesn't review video, then I can take a moment to look at my buttons.
It doesn't sound that cool.
Take off your shoes. Time for you to stop.
That was not the right button.
I gotta reframe those.
I know.
All right, anyway.
In the UK, they called it accidental.
Oh, I remember this one.
Most people just called
Hero, right. That guy. That
in Dustin
what?
Nobody ever
Oh, Dustin Hoffman. That's
a disaster from the jump. The script got rewritten 3
From the
I was
jump.
thinking of Remo Williams.
Hoffman demanded final say on the edit, and then refused to show up for reshoots. He and Gina Davis.
Wow, a lot of famous people in that movie.
In a hotel.
There were. It was a big movie. I remember it being like a big deal.
Screenings. The studio went behind the director's back and reshot the ending without even telling him.
Wow.
Hey, you know that song you wrote, Kyle, you made and all that? I redid the end of it.
Yeah.
So, still yours.
And then released it under your name.
The first.
What? Oh, the sequel. So remember the first movie?
Well, they're saying it only made $1.9 million, and that's a flop. That's the exact opposite of every other movie on this list.
No, Howard the Duck made more than its budget.
Oh, it did?
Yes. So why it's a flop is because in video, in film, in any business, there's the rule of thirds, or I guess it's a third rule. You have to, if you put in 40 million, you need to make 3 times that. Because the 40 million was to make the film. There was extra actually to market it, which is sometimes more expensive than the freaking film. Then there's input costs to keep the studio going, and I forgot the rest. But there's definitely, you need 3 times what you put in order for it to be successful, not even a hit.
Yeah, and I think they're only talking about box office here, and what they're not talking about is video rentals and the total money of the film ever made. They're only talking about box office. So I think in 1993, everyone was renting movies, if not VHS, then DVD, and that the movie can make more money that way.
Yeah, but you can't count on that. In film, especially at this time, what you were counting on was box office.
Right. Well, these are box office bombs and not, like total money over the course of the whole life of the endeavor.
That's right.
What a story.
Kyle.
Found it.
The film was a box office success. Critics liked the sequel even more, and it's since developed a cult following.
I did enjoy the film.
In 1993,
Yeah.
Paramount completely torpedoed it. They dropped it in theaters just 1 week after Mrs. Doubtfire. The studio also panicked about an electrocution gag at some point and almost got slapped with an R rating from the MPAA.
What? Nowadays you
I
get
know.
R rating for that? It's a stupid movie.
In half at the last minute. Test screenings scored even higher than the original.
Wow.
But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
At the box office, it made less than half of what the first film did.
Oh.
There's a baby with a mustache. You gotta watch it.
Come on.
Weird, offensive mess about a boy shot
Never heard of
by
it.
parents.
Next.
But Rob Reiner.
Elijah Wood?
Rob
He
Reiner put
literally
this
asked
together?
critics to go
He was
eat
making
before
hits.
The movie even came out. It didn't help. Roger Ebert gave
Elijah
it
Wood
0
was
Look at that limo.
I hated this movie. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience-insulting moment of it.
I feel like he's holding back. Hey, look, it's Bruno.
To be a lighthearted fable, and people were expecting something bigger from him. That may be true, but it didn't stop the movie from tanking and marking the beginning of a long slump in his directing career.
Well, I guess you can make a terrible movie and still get Lord of the Rings.
Elijah Wood wasn't. So that's the other thing is like, if everything was run by guys like him, they'd be like, you're all terrible, this was a flop. But when people see actors acting well in a bad movie and trying hard, especially when they know it's a sinking ship, they can still pay them less money, by the way, and get that quality of talent out, but it is a risk. No, we haven't done Best Friends yet. We're going to do that with Tommy Wiseau's movie. I heard it's not like The Room, and it's not like that apartment one that we saw.
Yeah, we watched the TV show, and like we enjoyed it, but like there's other stuff to watch too.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Let me worry about that.
Harlan fired.
Cutthroat Island.
Cutthroat Island.
I watched many videos about this, never watched it. I like Gina Davis. It all should have worked, and it didn't. It was one of the biggest flops ever. No VHS would save this.
It only lost $88 million.
And that's from 1995.
Right.
The studio went under, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But this is the studio that bet on Terminator 2.
Wow.
That bet on movies that were just like, they had to have the biggest, best movies ever, so they were hoping this would keep them afloat. So it's not like this was the main reason. This was the last of the line. If it wasn't a huge hit like Terminator 2, then the studio would go under.
Right. Well,
the film opened to just over $2 million, and only
people weren't ready for a strong female lead.
No, it's just not a good movie.
Weeks after
Alien is an amazing film.
When the studio literally went bankrupt. Cutthroat Island even held the Guinness World Record for biggest box office bomb in history for years.
Oh, I guess we'll see what the next biggest bomb
for
is.
At least a few
Nobody
years.
was asking for a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story told from the housekeeper's point of view. But they made it
Great idea.
What a terrible idea.
Greenlit.
How does this get greenlit?
Then begged to dub over it.
Julia Roberts?
Sony said no.
Chris and I have a sequel to
but Roberts' agent
Brett Michaels' movie in development. And there's no green lights for that.
No, Letter to Death Row 2, the squeakquel.
Had completely disowned it. Critics.
The Hooerquel.
The Hooer's Revenge. Let's move on.
He doubled down with the
Postman.
Costner's.
That's not even Kevin Costner's only bad movie that is in the apocalypse.
They lost $60 million on this.
Cut them from the movie.
Yeah. Well, the horses are expensive.
Everyone got fired.
And refused to trim a single frame.
He refused to trim any of it.
He kept it anyway. It was a dystopian film based on a short story about a post-apocalyptic America way before that genre blew up with the Hunger Games. Audiences didn't buy what Costner was selling. The movie collapsed at the box office, earning back just a quarter of its bloated budget.
It's crazy though, because like this is the problem in art, and this is, show business is still art of some kind. Waterworld was considered a flop.
I liked Waterworld.
I know, but it was considered a monetary flop.
Right.
Plus, he did Dances with Wolves. That shouldn't have been like this amazing, great film that everyone. It's a pretty boring piece.
Dances with Wolves turned into the hottest thing.
It was the ish.
Yeah.
All the old people when I was a kid loved it. So when he goes, I have another idea. It's called The Postman. It involves horses, and I'm cool and rugged and shooting people. They're like, yeah, you're going to make us $1 billion.
Right.
So I don't blame the studios on that kind of thing. And then Costner refuses to edit any piece of it. Don't work with him.
I've worked with directors just shooting corporate video to where they're like, this shot stays in and it wrecks the whole edit and I have to edit all the way around it. And like when you're in charge of your own edit as a producer or director, then it's possible to be wrong.
No one's gonna get that through to you though.
No.
You're gonna be
and I'm sure there's a couple of directors that were like, just fucking put it in, you know, that's what I'm paying you to do. And I was like, well, let's think of, no? Okay. A lot of the chat is talking about the movie Ice Pirates, and I really like Ice Pirates.
Didn't we see like a clip or something?
We watched a clip of it.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm open to that. We should do Ice Pirates.
Yeah, that'd be great. The only problem is if it gets blocked.
Oprah put her own money into Beloved.
I don't want to. That's fine. I don't relate.
Fired director John McTiernan.
13th Warrior.
Never watched it.
Of the movie.
That's the person that commented and said that it was actually great, but the studio didn't promote it.
Banderas never saw a full script, and to this day, the original cut is lost.
He never saw a full script.
Banderas. This had all the
Banderas
for a hit. The budget exploded, the marketing flopped, and the audience never showed up. Final tally? 160 million to barely 60 million earned. One of the biggest money losers of the decade.
They lost $100 million. You know what I could do with $100 million? Letter from Death Row 2. The Whoring. See, Gil liked the 13th Warrior. That's what I'm talking about. There's movies in here that are the biggest flop. No way, I loved that movie. Really? It's a flop?
Bad news, Kyle. It's a flop.
So what I'm saying right now is that I don't understand cinema? Titan AE is actually a good movie.
Fox had no faith in it.
I never
no
saw
toys, no merchandise, no cross promotion.
No toys?
Brad Bird was offered the script and passed immediately.
Dude, they gave up on this
Dead
thing.
on arrival.
Yeah, and it's the same person that animated All Dogs Go to Heaven or The Land Before Time or some shit.
Well, that's nice, but it has to be a good movie.
I thought it was
10 days
good.
Later, Fox Animation closed its doors.
Didn't Michael J.
Even though it
Fox
had
do
a
the
hit
voice
with
of that?
Anastasia
I don't know.
in 1997. Titan took a $100 million loss.
Oh.
That was the end of
Wow.
the line.
Hey, Salvage.
Closed the
B24.
animation studio.
Square spent 4 years trying to make a photorealistic.
So how you feel about Titan AE? I feel about Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Never heard of it. Moving on.
So the reason why I like this so much is because of the effort. Square at the time.
Effort. It's worth it. Sometimes taking a shit takes effort too. And blinking saved me. They're torturing us.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, one sec.
Matt Damon.
As I was saying, this was made by Square. They made such amazing CG cutscenes from like Final Fantasy VII and all this other stuff that when they made this, I was like, it's time for a game studio to try to make a movie in full CG. I love it. Love the idea. And it looked amazing. They actually had this woman, and I say woman because they created this star and wanted to put her on like
Baldwin as the lead and didn't tell
movie posters, or I'm sorry, in other things. They wanted to make her into a digital
actress he hoped to use in future films. She
sorry, it's still on this.
Was never used again.
So she was to be a digital actress to be used in multiple movies. So they were trying to kick off owning an actress for digital movies only and not having real actors for that.
Right, well, people were throwing a lot of things at the wall all throughout times when technology expanded and stuff. It was an idea worth trying. In 2001, I mean, Phantom Menace came out in 99, so the good CG was possible.
Yeah, and it does look good. That's not the big problem. The problem is that the story is...
There's no story.
It's incredibly stilted. The acting is not great from the voice acting delivery, but the lines are strange. The film is not that relatable. It's a bit cold. There's a distance, so it's not like, hey, later, William. It's not like nobody wants to be a part of it. It feels kind of mistold.
I have a sword and can do magic. Kyle.
Badly, Square canceled their Hollywood division, shut down their animation studio in Hawaii.
Jesus.
It cost a lot and it flopped
just
hard.
to survive. Total loss, almost $95 million.
No!
All CG. Like, that's a lot of time, dude.
Yeah.
Pluto Nash kicked off a whole streak of flops for
Pluto Nash is one of the worst
than the
pieces
last.
of garbage ever.
Never saw
Shelved
it.
for 2 years and quietly dumped in August 2002.
It made 10% of its budget.
$100 million, made 7, not 70, 7. Eddie Murphy played a nightclub owner on the moon. That's it. That's the movie. Mobsters want his moon club. He says no. Chaos ensues.
You can't take my moon club.
The test screenings were a disaster. The studio tried reshoots, tried pushing the release back. Nothing worked.
It looks
By the time
fantastic.
Right. Maybe we should watch Pluto Nash.
I don't think so.
Years later, he said the only reason he did it was because he bought a house with the check.
Must be
Bubble
nice.
Hill?
Bubble Hill.
Sinbad was supposed to be the next big animated adventure. Brad Pitt signed on without reading the script.
Brad Pitt was on
Literally
this?
admitted it. and
Never heard of this.
production, their animation
I get Titan AE and this
The
confused.
result was a weird blend
They're
of
very different.
emergency patch CGI that looked awkward then and hasn't aged a day better. It bombed hard. DreamWorks lost $125 million, and Katzenberg blamed it on
was a
boys
lot.
not liking animation anymore. That didn't fly.
I don't like this anymore.
DreamWorks shut down their 2D division right after and pivoted to fully CG. The next films were Shrek 2 and Madagascar.
Yeah, do that.
Anyone ever heard of those?
Make money from those. All right, we're getting into the 2000s here.
Disney wanted a family-friendly
The Alamo?
Alamo movie. Just
I'm glad this flopped.
Family friendly with all those hardened, like ugly faces?
2 different R-rated cuts.
They shot.
Disney rejected both.
So because I just watched Deep Space Nine, the Alamo is on front of mind because Julian and O'Brien were like cosplaying the Alamo in the Hollow Suite. And it was a huge part of their relationship together. And one of their plans in What We Leave Behind was to go to the Alamo on Earth and kiss. I forgot what exactly happened.
One thing that I learned about when I took history classes that weren't just American based was that apparently the way the the way the property was set up when it was Mexico, Texas, was that they allowed settlers in from the United States under the idea that this is still Mexico. You can live here. You're under Mexican rule. You're blah, 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 taxes and all that. And the Americans said, sounds good. We're happy to be here. Live and let live. This is your property. Everything's great.
Sounds like Americans so far.
And then 5 minutes later said, we don't agree to what we agreed to. This is our land because God said so. And we're going to kill all of you and take it and then try to rewrite history with Billy Bob Thornton and $107 million and try to make it like we're the good guys taking a last stand in a place that they took over illegally.
This still sounds exactly like America. Like, none of that is different than everywhere else that Americans went and that is now us. Like, people are like, hey, this is America. Speak English when you're in San Francisco and San Fernando and San Antonio and San Jose and
Monterrey.
Monterrey, right. And it's like, well, I mean, it wasn't always, was it?
Can I get a burrito? You know, they did this.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Wait a minute. Oh, I think
you got it that
I got it that time. So anyway, when this type of movie flops, I'm glad. I think if it was made now, I think there would be a certain crowd that would watch it over and over again just to make it not flop. But the reality of the Alamo is...
Well, they couldn't do that with that Reagan movie. Did you even know about that movie?
No.
Dennis Quaid did a movie called Reagan.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, the libtards ruined it because they didn't watch it. Like, it flopped bad.
Why aren't people buying Teslas anymore?
Right.
So anyway, when that's just from my history and from what I see and what I read and learned.
Well,
Alamo,
I mean, it's also my history. I mean, I didn't go there, and my, well, Heather's might have. Some of her family's from Texas. But obviously not from this part because they all got killed.
Yeah. You mean they refused to leave after multiple times? They said, you know, this wasn't your home, right? And you know that this is still Mexico, right?
It's like if you're renting a house and they're just like, okay, I'll have the rent now. And they're like, nope, this is mine, America.
God said this color means I can do anything. All right, let's keep moving.
Then bailed 2 weeks before shooting. The crew built a massive $10 million replica of the Alamo.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Why not just use the Alamo?
Host. They ended up with Billy Bob Thornton and Patrick Wilson as Crockett and Travis.
Let's steal this land.
Is that Rob Schneider?
Box office.
In Rob Schneider.
In marketing,
In Rob Schneider.
$146 million.
Let's shoot Mexicans on their own land.
I mean,
Kyle.
She cheating, man.
No, come on.
The budget a secret.
Stealth sucks.
Opening weekend.
Yeah, this was unfortunate.
Because this movie was a total write-off.
They should have
dumb as
made
it
it more
sounds.
like Firefox
An AI
and made it
drone
like.
learns to love music.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I bet the studio executives kept getting more and more into it, and just. I bet it would have been good if it had been the original person's
Stealth was dead
idea.
on arrival.
Right. And instead, they were like, hey, can we make it...
They'll get a blonde and a black guy.
And can we make the jets talk like Kit from Knight Rider? Am I right?
Shoot the missile, Kyle!
Full-size AI stealth jet, then realized it wouldn't fit through the hangar doors. Jessica Biel went through weapons training for a big action sequence that got cut.
Great.
It opened in 4th place, behind Wedding Crashers, Sky High, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Absolutely no shot at survival.
All right.
You know, movies can go up against each other if they're good. Oh yeah, Poseidon bombed.
It was supposed to be a
So you know what's crazy is like, you know, when Titanic came out, I mean, that was I cried in the theater. I'll
Sure.
admit it. Hey man, I'll admit it.
Yeah, you're a sensitive man of
Hey,
the millennium.
Hey, what? We're gonna fight about it? Jack going in the water? I cried. So anyway,
I cried at Star Trek movies, man.
All right, let's not talk about that. So
I'll talk about it.
With that, I was like, oh man, that was such a good movie. And when I came home, I talked to my mom about it, and she said, you know, that's how I felt about the Poseidon Adventure, but the Poseidon Adventure. So that
The
was
original one.
the original
Right.
from the 70s or whatever. And I went back and watched it, and it was kind of a raw, realish kind of story. And for what they did in the time, it was actually very good. But my mom said, how you feel about that movie, Titanic, I felt about Poseidon Adventure. So I tried to come into this going like, oh, I want to see it through my mom's eyes. I want to see, this is nothing like the original.
No,
nowhere near.
I'm sure the executives ruined it again. They're like, oh, make sure that somebody does a hammer dance.
Go ninja, go ninja.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how do they get to be executives and just have stupid ideas?
It was a bloated mess that lost $83 million
Wow.
and got itself a Razzie nomination. Production was chaos.
And it didn't look good.
Wolfgang Peterson
Titanic used models and looked amazing for the most part.
Yeah. Well, you have to know how to shoot it.
The rotating set jammed up, trapping extras upside down.
Oh,
Josh
shit.
Lucas later said they were rewriting the script while shooting, sometimes mid-scene, and despite all that, the studio was already planning a franchise.
Dude.
Poseidon 2, Aquatic Boogaloo.
Can you, I mean, the reality of what he just said, that cold, heartless AI just said, that you're on this film as, I'm not even talking about the actors, okay? Actors, Kurt Russell's going to be fine, right?
Right.
Some people are going to be just fine.
Exactly.
But like, you know, second camera AC or grip, right? Somebody low level that's getting into the business and is really excited to be there, is learning and growing, getting connections, and then you know you're on one of the biggest pieces of crap. You set up your boom, you set up all the stuff that needs to be there. Talent comes in along with the director and producers, and they're rewriting the script right in front of you, trying to figure out how to save this turd.
Yeah. If you're so worried about the script that you don't even believe in the script that you're there to shoot that day, you're like, what are we shooting today?
Oh shit.
Oh fuck. Let's do say go ninja, go ninja, go.
Go ninja. Yeah. And then they just do it, and you're just holding the boom mic going like, oh my God.
Let's try another one where you talk about, and it's like, oh my God, how are they even going to cut this together? None of this makes any sense.
What a horrible feeling, too.
Yeah.
It's just a slow-mo train wreck. Trekkies 1 and 2, we should watch that.
Nobody gives a crap about our Star Trek content except me and whoever said that. Those are the only people.
I care most sometimes. So they don't all have to be like.
You see how we went most sometimes?
Because I keep it real.
I'm a vampire.
Distract them.
I'm a vampire.
The most expensive comedy ever made, and that record still stands.
Don't think Steve Carell's that funny.
175.
In The Office, he was hilarious.
He's okay in The Office, but I never really watched The Office.
Oh, you got to watch The Office.
What I watched was Space Force.
I loved Space Force. You didn't like Space Force?
It's terrible.
It's a smart show.
I'm smart. It's not a smart show.
I'm smart.
Space Force was terrible.
Evan
Almighty is not. 40-Year-Old Virgin was okay.
It was okay. I didn't really love. I love the style of 40-Year-Old Virgin more than the film itself.
Can someone tell me what WWG1 WGA is?
What would gonorrhea one white
I am smart. You're not smart.
gorilla alpha? So yeah, I think Space Force was really good. Did you watch both seasons?
No, it's like 2 episodes.
Oh, dude. John Malkovich is hilarious in that. All right, forget it.
Pay this man his money.
Excellent.
$1 million.
Let's move on from this.
Themselves all.
Oh, Speed Racer.
The Wachowskis wanted to make.
God damn it! I wanted to love this so much.
I was open to it. I wasn't like, this is going to be dumb.
I bet if I watched it now, I would like it.
Rigs that broke constantly. Had crew members wear color-coded outfits so they could be chroma keyed out of reflections, and handed the editing team over 1,800 VFX shots with no locked script. The story was a mess.
I think the VFX were bad.
You are tearing me apart.
Production.
You're tearing me apart, Wachowski brother.
That is insanity.
Their sister.
And you can tell.
Like 1,200 shots and
with no locked script.
Travel,
Uh-oh.
CGI dinosaurs.
Okay.
Absolutely zero.
Land of the Lost was a huge part of my Saturday morning shit when I was little, and it was the only thing that I thought that was for kids that I actually bought into. Besides me, sometimes I caught HR Puff and stuff, but like Land of the Lost was this cool adventure. It had these snake people, the slee stacks, and they just went. But then there's like this gold slee stack that was smart that would help them, kind of like a Dr. Zaius or whatever.
Dr. Zaius.
And Marshall, Bill, and Holly on a routine expedition.
I've seen clips and
so this movie I watched and I kind of liked it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like we're in Land of the Lost, but the original one, the production budget was so low that it was easy to make a good Land of the Lost movie.
Idea who this movie was for. Land of the Lost is.
It was
based
for
on
me.
a
There's a slee stack.
It's for Kyle.
But Farrell improvised
For
his way
Kyle.
through most of it, and the final product ended up too raunchy for children and too stupid for adults.
Thank you, AI. the AI seemed to have a little attitude, like too stupid for adults.
For everyone but Kyle.
Version less than $70 million, and Universal lost.
Will Ferrell is always good.
A few years later, the then president.
A lot has to go wrong to make Will
Right.
Ferrell and Danny
It was just
McBride
crap.
not fun and
There was
funny.
no excuse for it.
All right.
This one was marketed as a Christmas movie.
Who
for
gives a
kids, and it had
shucks?
Nazi rats, sharks, a singing.
I remember hearing
dinosaur,
about this.
and
Why are there
absolutely no
robot voles in the
surprising it couldn't find its
Nutcracker?
audience.
That's not part of the original ballet.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
But used someone else to do it. The director credited Tchaikovsky for the original story.
I wouldn't.
When the reviews rolled in, he called critics morons and blind dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was the director of Troll 2.
$2 at the box office.
You are
against a
stupid.
$90 million budget.
All right, goodbye.
Yeah, I never saw or heard of that
At
one.
the time, Mars Needs Moms held the title
What?
for the
I've heard of
worst
this.
box office
I've not heard of it.
any
It was
Disney
a big
movie ever
CG
made.
flop.
They
Huge.
spent $150 million on a motion
It's a
picture
dumb name.
like it crawled straight out of the uncanny valley.
Kids
Yeah.
don't want to watch a movie about
But
moms.
They dubbed over his voice with a child actor, which threw off the lip sync and made everything feel even creepier.
Oh.
The film crashed with less than $40 million at the box office. Time
God,
magazine
40 million
estimated
still
the
seems
loss
like a
of
lot of money, but if you spend 120 million to get 40 million, then it's a problem.
$191 million today. Disney shut down Robert Zemeckis' Image Movers studio. in
Oh shit,
Oh,
another
Robert Zemeckis.
studio killer.
That's too bad. It's a shame these all have to
John
make
Carter
so
was
much
supposed
money.
to launch
John
a
Carter, on the other hand,
sci-fi franchise.
bombed hard.
What they got instead was one of the biggest box office disasters.
It's like the Disney thing, right?
Yeah.
The concept was already a hard sell.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a John Carter.
And finds himself in the middle of a
that's
war
straight out
between
of
10
episode
aliens.
2.
Well, so it is from an early series, and it was done well. I actually saw a video on it, and it's so bizarre. The title of the movie or original script or whatever was called John Carter of Mars. Why would you take out of Mars
seriously
and just have a generic white guy name? It doesn't.
Because you're marketing this to 12-year-old white boys.
Familia for life.
It didn't test well in the fucking thing.
Lone Ranger will be
No
here,
one
I
knew what
think.
the movie was even about. Test screenings bombed so badly, they cut a new trailer the week of release. Director Andrew Stanton.
Oh God, 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 oh God.
Well, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I'll probably like landscape. You know?
Yeah, right.
I gotta learn how to do it first, but I think I could be good at it.
I think I'll learn how to sew and do alterations. I'm not good at movies.
William Dafoe was the main character.
Oh my
That's
God.
Universal spent $175 million on a samurai.
I saw this.
I didn't.
The story wasn't exciting enough.
I wasn't that
So
interested.
they added a witch, a demon deer, and a CGI dragon.
And the
Called
RZA
it a fantasy
from
action adventure
Wu-Tang.
and aimed it squarely at global teens. The result? 47 Ronin, one of the most miscalculated flops of the decade.
Wow, a Kenow movie
Based on is
that
well
didn't
known
do
in
well.
Japan, not anywhere else. And
That
when
guy
they
too.
cast Keanu Reeves in the lead role, Japanese audiences bailed instantly.
Oh,
the film was
right.
so bombed.
Well, he's half Japanese.
Even in the original ending.
He's
The
half
CG
like
inserted him during
Hawaiian or
reshoots.
something.
The director was completely locked out of
The
the
Japanese are very
Nearly broke $150 million
xenophobic. They don't want any half shit. Xenophobia. It's global.
I'm not a part of this.
Disaster on every possible level.
Oh my God.
What?
Pulled in just 3.7 million its opening weekend, finishing with a worldwide total that didn't
This
even
looks
crack a
stupid.
third
Oh, he's half
production
Chinese? Sorry.
budget. It wasn't just
I
a
thought he was
flop.
half Japanese.
It was a scam. The shady studio behind
It was a scam.
funds into investing. Animators went unpaid for months.
Great.
Oh, it was like a
The
producer
voice cast,
scam.
Dan Aykroyd, Patrick Stewart, The Works.
Dan Aykroyd.
Aykroyd.
No context.
Yeah, this is Heartless AI.
Nothing. Behind the scenes, there were accusations.
This looks awful. This is 2014.
And publicly,
Yeah.
the team promised it would be bigger than Frozen. What they delivered was a $70 million embarrassment.
blackjack and hookers.
No one wanted a dark reboot with a Mulan.
Forget the blackjack.
What they delivered was Hugh Jackman in eyeliner singing Nirvana with a children's choir.
I did not know that.
What?
The backlash started early, especially after they cast Rooney Mara, a white woman, as Tiger Lily, a Native American
Oh
character.
no.
don't
Why
like
did
the-
they do
I
that?
don't like the way AI said
No idea
white
what the
woman.
movie was supposed to be.
A white
Result was
woman.
a prequel to Peter Pan that cost $150 million and made even less.
Ugh.
As long as Hugh Jackman got that Skrilla, I think we're good.
Like they're like Tiger Lily. Yeah, let's definitely change it.
That'll get up. Well, you know, even like my wife said to me, and I've heard about this previously, but like when my wife hears about it and tells me something about Marvel stuff, I know that it's made the rounds. And she said like, oh, did you hear that Ryan Gosling is going to play the Black Panther in the newest whatever giant movie, but he's going to be from an alternate universe. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's fine. Look, when you do something well, it works. It'll work. That
Right.
lady from freaking, I didn't even know this for years. The lady from, you messed me up.
Sorry.
What was it? Alien 2. Aliens. Vasquez? That lady? The Chicana? With
Yeah, the
gun?
Chicana icon.
Icon that Chicanos, including me and my family and my relatives, still love to this day.
There's a statue of her in San Diego, probably.
White woman.
Yeah.
One of the whitest people there is to exist.
Yeah.
And she played Vasquez so well that it didn't matter.
Yeah,
It still
I
doesn't
know.
matter today.
I'm an actor.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She did an amazing job.
And she's flattered by all the people that were like, hey, I think you're really cool. And she's like, well, yeah, I'm white, but, you know.
Let me I gotta show you the picture.
Aliens.
Or aliens, yeah. Yeah. This is
not Latina. And you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Not just the way she looks, the way she acted.
Right.
All of that. It worked so well. And let's see, where's her picture? Oops. Look at this. She's the best. And this is her.
She still kind of looks Latina. She's like a queef Latina.
No. Latina. Like, that's her. And when you hear her talking,
if that lady served you an enchilada, you'd be like, yeah.
No, I'd be like, all right, well. But so anyway, that is what I'm talking about. When you do something right, it doesn't matter where they're from or what they do. She was Vasquez, and like to this day, I'm like, that's a strong Latina character. I don't care.
Yeah.
So Gosling can do whatever he wants if it's done well. Good.
Yeah, I think the next thing it's gonna be, so the Marvel thing was the multiverse.
Yeah, they need to kill all that.
And I think they're gonna do Secret Wars next, which was this big crossover event.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey's gonna be Doctor Doom, and so they can pull in people from alternate dimensions, because I think that was like the big thing about Secret Wars, is that there were all these different characters.
That's fine, and I think doing that kind of stuff works out. So it's not like
And they gave the little sister a chance to be Black Panther, and people didn't buy it.
I wanted Chadwick Boseman or somebody like that. I think they killing off that one guy, Michael B. Jordan, his character.
That was a
Killmonger,
mistake.
That was a mistake. He should have been the new Black Panther.
Yeah, it would have been, just give him a personality remake, like he gets shot by Hawkeye's arrow and he turns good. Like, that would have been fine.
Fine. It's pronounced Vasquez. Are you sure, Eric?
I mean, if you go back to the movie, I'm sure that's what the white people were calling her.
How dare you talk to me like that? You are tearing me apart!
Kyle.
That made no sense.
They took a 4-hour Oscar-winning epic and tried to turn it into a 2-hour action flick with CGI chariot races and slow motion.
The coolest thing about Ben-Hur is that the fucking chariot races were real.
And somehow,
and Charlton Heston
that
owned
was
the
the
movie.
least ridiculous thing in the movie. Audiences didn't bite.
I didn't.
Critics didn't.
I didn't
either.
watch this or care to.
25% on Rotten Tomatoes, and less than 100 million.
To me, this was like when they made 3 Hercules movies in one year, and they were all different companies.
Oh, right.
It was like that.
Calling it a miss.
Like
for the
Transmorphers. Like
Transmogrifiers.
And the film disappeared without a trace. Warner Brothers handed Guy Ritchie $170
What?
million
Never heard of it.
to reimagine
It looked kind of cool.
with Cockney slang, kung fu
Cockney,
and CGI elephants. They even gave David Beckham a speaking role.
Well,
Jude Law
not
did his
enough.
best as the evil.
Well, it's all the good people.
That looks cool too.
It turns out that
Had
just didn't want to see
Ragnar from Vikings. Not that Ragnar.
Oh my God!
I hate this clip.
No! He's in our clip. Oh, you almost got it.
I almost got it.
4 million.
Logan's Run is one of the best movies ever. You're right. I hope they never redo it, but they will.
Final losses were estimated at around $150 million. It's still one of the worst performing tentpole movies the studio ever released.
Never saw it. It's too bad.
What's a tentpole movie?
Just supposed to make a lot of money in the summertime.
This one had Peter Jackson's name on it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this didn't do. This went away really quickly.
Was a total unknown.
What is
The
this?
script went through 6 rewrites.
How did I
They
never
spent a
hear of
fortune
it?
building
Oh,
a
yeah,
giant
Peter
Oval
Jackson
City
made a
set,
big deal about
and
it.
then barely filmed any of it. Actors were cast late and rushed through training. Jackson reportedly knew it was a mess and refused to promote it properly. The film was based on a 2001 young adult novel about predator cities roaming the earth after a global war. Audiences didn't get it, didn't care,
I think I
and
saw
didn't show
an
up.
animation
It
about
opened
this.
to $7.5 million, dropped 76% the next weekend, and limped
Yeah,
to an 83 million worldwide total.
I had to ask the question, like, okay, Mortal Engines, there are cities that are constantly moving because they need to constantly move, and I'm like, why not stop for a little bit? And I never got answered, and I was like,
what if the premise doesn't need to be the premise at all? but they move.
Go Ninja.
And estimated over 100 million in losses.
Oh.
Whoa.
This was supposed to be the next Lego movie.
What?
Yeah, Playmobil or whatever that's called.
Playmobil.
Playmobil. They tried to be like a Lego movie.
Those Playmobil is the worst.
I don't even know how to
always
say it.
thought that I was getting it, and it wasn't quite Lego because you don't put anything together. It's not quite G.I. Joe because it doesn't have cool themes. It's like, what if you had a play set for a dentist office? And that's the play set.
Oh.
And they have like a dentist and a nurse, and you could, it's like, you know how Hot Wheels are cool and they have like flashy, like stylistic cars, and then you get a Matchbox and it's just like a 1989 Ford Taurus. And they're like, yes, it's very faithfully reproduced. And I don't want that. I want a race car. So Playmobil, there's no way this was going to work. The toys are terrible.
Denny, you know that Johnny's like your father.
No.
And we're your friends. We're gonna help
Oh,
you.
Well, let's see how terrible this was.
Thank you, Zero Cool.
Radcliffe voiced a spy character who sings and dances like he's in a bad Fortnite knockoff. The marketing was non-existent. Some theaters
It just
got the
looks
wrong cut of the
knockoff.
See, the hand looks like Lego.
It does. It's all shameless.
But that's just so they can hold not
More than
guns.
2,000 screens, lowest per theater average ever for a wide release.
People worked hard
Box
on
office
this.
worldwide
They
was
worked
just
so hard on it.
It's unfortunate.
Somebody got the movement of the fabric exactly right. That was their
They
specialty.
just didn't know what's going to happen next.
Okay. All right, 2020.
There's no single flop to point to in 2020. The whole
There's so
Oh my god!
Most major releases either went straight to streaming or sat on the shelf. Studios lost hundreds of millions across the board.
Dr. Dolittle?
1984.
Okay, Wonder Woman 1984 is observably terrible.
None of them
When the first one was so good.
I thought the first one was okay, and I didn't think the second one was good at all.
The first one was so good just because it was the first comic book movie that my wife really wanted to watch.
Oh, that's cool.
And like with me.
Yeah.
And she was like, I grew up loving Wonder Woman and this is such a wonderful movie, and it really like did proper tribute and everything like that to, you know, my idea of Wonder Woman growing up. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's great. And then they came out that 1984 thing and she's like, nah.
We're good at this.
The entire box office was basically a black hole.
Your
All
face
right.
is a black hole.
Whoa!
Filmed in 2017.
What?
Sat
Oh.
on a shelf for 4 years.
That's bad.
That should tell you everything.
Yeah.
This is
Chaos Walking was
nothing.
based on a young adult trilogy. No one explained.
I love young adult
Not to audience.
trilogy.
Oh, it's got Spider-Man in
to
it.
the studio.
It's the Spider-Man.
Test audiences were
Spider-Man?
they didn't
Spider-Man.
know what they just watched. So Lionsgate spent another $15 million.
They got
on
Daisy?
reshoots, and
This is the
didn't even
classic-
Invite the original director back.
Good.
Tom Holland.
So this is when studios are like, oh, he's going to be Spider-Man. Let's lock him in with another picture. Oh, we'll figure it out. Oh, she's going to be the huge portion of Star Wars. Let's lock her in for
Right.
And then we'll get them together and we're going to make a lot of money and it's going.
And they're like, what movie are we gonna put him in? What's that thing your nephew wrote? Chaos Walking?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's free.
I mean, throw him in that.
Okay.
Daisy Ridley were coming off.
I'm going to be
Star Wars, and yet the movie barely.
I'm going to work
made
in
a
retail
dent.
after this.
A year later, Holland starred in No Way Home, and
I'm gonna
brought the
sell
box office
concrete.
roaring back with a $1.9 billion haul. But Chaos Walking couldn't even crack 30 million.
Oh man, it has
Everybody.
the guy from the movie I like.
Strange World is one of the
What is
biggest flops
this?
in Disney's history.
Wow.
The marketing team didn't know what to do with it. Halfway through,
It's like a cloudy
quietly stopped
meatball
pushing the
looking movie.
Yeah.
Test
I saw the trailer for it.
like
Steph and I,
Journey
my
to
wife
the
and I
Center
watched
of the
trailers
Earth
like
without
on
any
YouTube. So we watched like all the
And
latest
inside
trailers
Disney,
and this was
nobody
like,
could figure out who the movie
This
was.
is trailer trash.
whoa!
Even with voice talent like Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid.
The Jill?
Gabriel
Who
Union,
thinks
and
Jake
Lucille
Gyllenhaal and
Strange
Dennis
World
Quaid are
opened to
great
a
voice
record
talent?
The
low
Gyllenhaal?
$1 million across Thanksgiving weekend.
Jack and
Final global
Gyllenhaal.
gross was just 73 million. Losses came in at 197 million.
No.
Wow, that's an astonishing.
That's $250 million.
Second year in a row, Disney claimed the biggest box office disaster. The Marvels wasn't just a
It's
flop.
not good.
It was
I
the
hope
first
that someday
time
they'll
MCU might actually be running
react
out of
to
steam.
their massive losses.
Brie Larson filmed most of her scenes without a full script. Scenes
I really wanted the girl movie to, the woman movie to do good, but everyone hates Brie Larson for some reason. I don't. But they just did like this all girl power, like, you know, hey, we're all like, I don't know why it had to be terrible. It didn't have to be terrible.
I think the climate and reaction of like conservative people, when it's just ideologies and people talking and stuff, it's not that big of a deal. When you start messing with the mainstream movies and forcing this kind of stuff onto everybody, and it's not done well,
right?
They get a bad taste in their mouth about everything like this.
Yeah, and I don't know if this was a comic book. All right, I wasn't gonna buy the Marvel's comic book, but if it's a bad comic book movie and it wasn't even a comic book, like, one of the things about Infinity War is that they changed it around, but there was an Infinity War. Like, so they had a lot of good stuff to draw on, right. And you're just having non-Stan Lee and non-Jack Kirby write a comic book movie, and that's not what I would have went for. Somebody brought up the remake of Total Recall. I actually liked it.
Never saw it. So, yeah, with the Marvels and stuff like this, especially with females, I never, ever in my mind, ever thought, oh, it's a female lead, I don't like it. I grew up with Ripley. I grew up with Vasquez. All right? Vasquez.
Don't get mad at the audience. That's Kyle's move.
Oh, that's true. I grew up with female characters that fit their role and did it well and was believable, and I liked them a lot. Like, I liked who they were or who they were trying to be. With this kind of stuff, they're shoving it in our faces. They're not well done characters. I don't like her. I don't care about the actor. What I'm saying is I don't like the character. There's no vulnerability. There's no genuine feeling of growth or change, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe it doesn't matter if I win. It's just a bland whatever that they put on the screen because it's a female and you got to make her smarter and faster than every male ever, and it's like, well, that doesn't make sense, like, in terms of the story.
Right, and even, you know, you don't do that to guys where everyone has to be better than the next ones. Like, you know, some of them can be vulnerable and have to actually challenge. You know,
yeah, like you learn.
Everyone can't be Superman, and she's Superman.
Yeah, and you learn from that. You learn, your characters then get to learn about themselves, like Bucky, and like in what was that airport scene? Was it Civil War, where Spider-Man, like, Bucky goes to punch him, and he just grabs his arm and goes, "Oh, you got a metal arm."
Right.
That's one kid showing up, a dude who basically beat up Captain America.
Right.
And all of a sudden he needs to go, oh, strength isn't going to be enough anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I look forward to in a film, like some kind of growth and challenge. And when they do this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, you're smarmy, you have jokes, and you never bleed, or you're never in a real. It's like Superman. Like,
right.
He has to be vulnerable in some ways, or it's not there's no stakes. There's nothing in there that I need to watch.
One of my theories about movies, and I don't know this, but I'm going to say it out loud, is that when you're writing movies for America by Americans for an American audience, it's going to be a completely different movie than if you're writing it for everyone in the world. You're writing it in a way that when it's translated into Arabic and Mandarin and Cantonese and Japanese, so that you can get the most ticket sales from the whole earth, it's going to be harder to write those subtleties and vulnerabilities and things like that into the movie, because the way you're vulnerable in American culture isn't the same way that you're vulnerable in Japanese culture. Right now I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with my son, and I'm looking at a lot of the cultural differences in the Japanese thing, to where they want the guys to be cool and quiet, and that's not cool in America.
No.
And this guy says, I cannot abide anyone who thinks they're better than me. And it's like, in America, everyone thinks they're better than everyone. So there's not, like, you can't go around feeling that way, or you'll have to destroy the whole earth.
Right.
So when you're writing a movie for a larger audience, it's not going to be as good just because it has to appeal to everyone, and you can only do that to a certain depth.
It's got cut. And the director had already moved on to her next project before post-production was finished.
No shit.
Lower than any MCU film before it. Bob Iger publicly admitted Marvel was oversaturated, and this was the movie that proved it.
Yeah, but Thunderbolts was awesome.
I gotta check it out.
Go see Thunderbolts. It is really good. It smashes all of this Marvel shit.
All right, here we go. I think this is the last
The
one for this.
original Joker made over $1 billion.
Oh, Joker 2.
You think you're better than me?
I didn't even watch it.
Guaranteed.
I haven't seen it yet.
Shot it as a musical. Half the crew didn't even know until filming had already started.
That's bad.
Lady Gaga's musical numbers were filmed on massive custom-built sets, some costing over $15 million each.
Why?
After bad
$50 million each.
Most of those sequences had to be reshot.
Oh my
When
god.
it premiered at festivals, audiences didn't understand the ending, so it was rewritten. Joker opened domestically in October and flopped hard out of the gate. Just 25 days later, it was.
Everyone said it was bad. I didn't even watch it.
I will watch it at some point, but I haven't seen it yet. But I don't want to watch it with the idea that everyone hates it or like I should hate it. But that being said, like he did, you know, there's that famous clip of him where he's like, he looks over to Lady Gaga at the premiere and everyone's clapping. He goes, "It's bad, huh?" He had a dream. He wanted to go nuts with it, and I think it could have been something great. I applaud the effort, and I don't think Joaquin Phoenix should be ashamed of that. I think the first film with Todd Phillips directing,
it was so good.
It was amazing. I didn't want to like it. I didn't want to have another Joker in my life, and it worked so well, and it's something I still think about. It was shot well, everything. So for this to happen, I think you're getting too close to the sun. But damn, how do you know unless you?
LCS says it wasn't that bad.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Right. So that was Kyle's thoroughly researched video that somebody else put together, but that we reacted to fairly to what's on the screen. And there were some movies in there to where we had the reactions that I thought we would, to where we're like, you know what, actually that was a really good movie, or hey, I've never even heard of that, or yeah, this is a total piece of crap and I'm glad no one ever saw it.
So when these movies look at you and say, I am fun, remember.
You said you were fun and you were spontaneous. You're not fun.
You're not spontaneous. All right, I have to log into Google here. That's what I was farting around with, because they auto log you out of the YouTube thing after like an hour or two, and then I have to go to my phone and the settings and stuff. So Kyle,
my God.
I need you to vamp.
Oh, you need me to vamp. Let's actually take a break.
Okay, so we're gonna take a break. Actually, should we just go to Twitch?
Yeah, I think we're going over to Twitch.
So we're going to take about 15 minutes, and then we're going to head over to Twitch. If we're not there in 15 minutes, don't keep asking where are they. We're probably pooping.
We're not leaving. We're just, it takes a while to log in and stuff like that. And also, I have to do a bunch of Rockstar vitamins. See you over there.
True.
Seriously though, thanks for watching, but yeah, it's the end of the show. This is the end of the show. It's over. Show's over. You've had enough of us anyway. Did you catch the part where Chris was annoyed when everything didn't go perfectly? How about when Kyle crowbarred in his shoe style? The show's over. You should be grateful it's finally over. Over and out. Yeah, it's Trover. Yeah, you should be grateful.